Welcome to Sierra Nevada mountains of California, home to incredible cliffs, spectacular waterfalls, deep valleys, and ancient sequoia trees. This is Yosemite National Park. The beauty of this place is something that everyone should experience at least once in their life. In this video, I will show you how to make the most of your weekend trip here in Yosemite. If you are new here, I am Kristi, and together with my husband Lucas, we love to travel. But we are not traveling for a living. We both have built careers elsewhere. However, we never let a single weekend, bank holiday or vacation day go to waste. We are always exploring new places. And this time, I am so excited to say, welcome to Yosemite! Our weekend trip to Yosemite National Park started in San Francisco. On Friday afternoon, we hit the road and it took us around 3.5 hours to get to Yosemite with our rented car. The stunning scenery along the road made the time pass quickly. The first stop you should make upon entering the national park is Tunnel View. Here you get the first glimpse of Yosemite Valley and some of the most famous vistas. You can see here El Capitan, then over there in the back you can see the Half Dome, and here you can see the Bridalveil Fall. A pro tip: arrive before sunset because setting up a tent in complete darkness is no fun. I learned that the hard way. Anyway, welcome to Yosemite and good night. It is a gorgeous morning here at Campfire. We settled in yesterday and now we are preparing some breakfast because we're gonna need a lot of strength for today's hike because it's one of the most challenging hikes I've ever done in my life. For easy food prep inspiration, we made our breakfast on the stove burner we bought yesterday at Walmart, along with instant porridge topped with fresh apple slices. It was surprisingly good and kept us full for a long time. This camp is picture perfect. I feel like I woke up in a fairy tale. We are staying right next to this giant cliff, and Campfire is also a start point for most of the hikes here. It was time to finish our coffee and we were all ready and set for our first Yosemite exploration.
Let's go!
We are starting the Upper Yosemite Falls hike. It is actually the oldest trail here in Yosemite, so I am very excited. It is supposed to be steep, challenging, but very rewarding. During the first half of the hike, you will enjoy amazing views of Yosemite Valley with Half Dome visible in the distance. We have made it 2.5 kilometers on the trail, and here we finally have the first glimpse of the stunning Yosemite Falls. When it falls down, you can see the water literally crashing, and it is such a breathtaking view. I could stand here for hours. The fall isn't continuous, it cascades. So you have the upper part, which has 435 meters, then you have the middle part, and then the lower part, which has I think 93 meters. In this section of the hike, you will get so close to the waterfall that you can feel the spray and hear the water thundering down the mountain. Once you leave the woods, the hike continues in direct sunlight, so it's best to start as early as possible and bring plenty of water. This part involves a steady uphill climb with an endless number of switchbacks. Here you will feel your energy draining, and you will need to push yourself to keep going upwards. The last part is the hardest. It's very steep, very challenging, but it's gonna be worth it. Just when you feel like you can't go on, the path begins to flatten, and within a couple of minutes, you will finally reach the top. We did it! We just hiked to one of the tallest waterfalls in North America. Made it! So here is the top of the waterfall, and then here you can see the Yosemite Valley. You can see the waterfall crashing down, and you can even see a little rainbow down there. The hike was so worth it for these stunning views. Leaving and we're gonna have well-deserved lunch. After lunch, we explored the cute area around the creek, soaking in the beautiful nature and peaceful vibes. How this small creek can produce such a massive waterfall is a mystery to me. Then it was time for a quick dip in the ice-cold water, refreshing enough to boost our energy for the trek back down to the valley. I had read online that this beautiful hike usually takes around 6 to 8 hours, but we nailed it in just 4.5, so we still had some time to squeeze in another afternoon activity. After the hike, hop into your car, drive for 1 hour to the Glacier Point, because here you will see the most breathtaking views. Right here you have the spectacular views of Half Dome, and over here you have the Vernal Falls. The Glacier Point is one of the few places from where you can see the Yosemite Falls in its whole beauty, the upper part, middle part and the lower part. The views here are 10 out of 10 and it is definitely well worth the drive here. It is 8 p.m. and we are about to start a fire because we're gonna make some hot dogs. We bought some buns and we also got some cheddar smoked sausages. So let's get the fire started. Now it's finally the real camping. Our simple hot dogs were delicious and we even met a couple of Americans from LA who joined us by the fire and shared their stories from the US. Our new friends gave us some s'mores to try and this is my first time. Apparently it's a super American thing, so I'm excited to try it. S'mores are a classic US campfire treat made by sandwiching a roasted marshmallow and a piece of chocolate between two graham crackers. The heat from the marshmallow melts the chocolate, creating a heavenly bite. So do I wait now or do I eat it?
You can eat it.
Yeah.
It cools pretty quick.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It is good.
It's really good. Rise and shine, it is a day 2 here in Yosemite and today we are going to hike to the Taft Point and we're also going to rent bikes and explore the valley. Today is gonna be another awesome day, but first let me give you a tour of Camp 4. Camp 4 is located at an elevation of 1,200 meters on the northern side of Yosemite Valley. Yosemite is very popular and the traffic can get here very crazy, so it is a good thing that we are staying right inside the Yosemite Valley and we don't have to waste any time getting in here. The camp is very cute, surrounded by high cliffs and beautiful tall trees. We are sharing our campsite with 6 other people, so be prepared that you will get to know your neighbors. But there is still plenty of space, so you will have your privacy. Each campsite has its own fireplace, tables and chairs that are shared with everyone. The campsite has also bear lockers where you need to store all your food, because in this area are 300 to 500 black bears. Now the most important thing is that if you want to stay at Camp 4, you need to make a reservation 1 week ahead and you need to sit by your computer and immediately make your reservation because 5 minutes later there will be no spots left. Due to a set checkout time, we packed up our tent and all our stuff before hitting the road for the day. We are about to start our hike to the Taft Point. It's going to be 3.6 kilometers in total, so it's going to be shorter and more easygoing today, but the views should be breathtaking. Look what we just ran into, right next to us. Oh my gosh, this is the wildlife of Yosemite. Yesterday there were cliffs and rocks around us, but today we are in the woods and the air here is so fresh. You can smell the wood. It is really nice to change the environment completely.
I am the king of Yosemite.
In just 20 short minutes, you will finally reach the end of the trail. Welcome to the Taft Point. You have here absolutely breathtaking view of the valley, but it's really not for people who don't like heights. You need to be very careful because many people have slipped and died here, so just be very careful. And honestly, it makes me very uncomfortable just standing here. If you have seen any pictures of Yosemite on Instagram, you have very likely seen the shot of this drop-off with this heart-stopping view. The area is quite big, so take your time, walk around these cliffs and get different views of the valley. The camera doesn't do it justice, but your heart literally stops when you approach these cliffs. This is also one of the places from where you can see the Yosemite Falls in its whole beauty, like we did yesterday at the Glacier Point. Very short hike, but very rewarding. We have made it to Yosemite Village for lunch and we still have 2 or 3 hours before we have to head back to San Francisco. So we went to the visitor center and we got ourselves a bike map. We're gonna rent bikes and ride around the valley. To rent the bike for half day is $30 and for the whole day it is $40. We are all set, so let's hit the road and start exploring. We have been on our way for like 5 minutes and we already stopped 3 or 4 times because the route is so scenic, so beautiful. Just look where I am right now. I feel like I'm shooting for National Geographic. The bike trail ends here by the Mirror Lake and you can see why it is called the Mirror Lake. When circling back through the beautiful forests of Yosemite Valley, it was time to make one last stop on the way back. One of the must-visit spots here on the bikes is the Lower Yosemite Fall. But be aware because I've never seen that many tourists at one spot anywhere here in the park. Biking through Yosemite feels like a dream. With these giant mountains, sparkling rivers, endless trees, everywhere I look there is some amazing view. It really is a must here in Yosemite. Sadly, this is the end of the vlog because we have to return our bikes and then return back to San Francisco. Yosemite, thank you for having us. It was a wonderful weekend, and if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and I'm gonna see you in the next one.